unsightly anomalies, dangerous mutants, anarchists, and bandits. None of them will stop duty on its triumphant march towards saving the planet.
Protectors of the Zone, or just a tyrannical paramilitary. Duty is the other half of the bipartisan factions within the Zone, the authoritarian opposition to Freedom. While Freedom was formed from stalkers who sought harmony with each other and the Zone, much of Duty consisted of former Ukrainian servicemen who, after being sent into the Zone, were disillusioned with their military positions. Free stalkers also chose to align with Duty over time, as the horrors of the Zone had come to affect many. So while Duty attempts to kill the Zone by fighting its mutant monstrosities and handing all of their artifacts over to the ecologists for research, this naturally brought them into conflict with Freedom. While Duty's authoritarianism and Freedom's anarchism is enough reason for cause of conflict, it was their contrasting philosophies towards the Zone which made them the rivaling factions that we know of. Freedom saw the Zone as a gift, and Duty saw it as a curse. One that they felt they'd have to constantly fight against, as if left unchecked, the Zone may grow to threaten more of a world. On top of their conflict with Freedom, who sought to undermine them at every step, they're also hostile towards mercenaries and bandits. This is mainly due to the predatory nature of both factions, as they're motivated by private and personal interests rather than ideology. Duty are also on decent terms with loners, which is understandable as the loners are their main source of recruitment and are generally found with bases neighbouring each other. Duty's relations with the military aren't exactly clear-cut. Many of the Duty members would be considered deserters due to leaving the military. But from many stalkers, there's often talk of Duty's connection to the military. Given former servicemen would still have old friends and comrades still in the Ukrainian security service, and the military's poor organisation and morale within the Zone, I feel it's fair to assume that there is at least a degree of cooperation between the two behind the scenes. And also, they're on good terms with the ecologists, as Duty looks for a way to get rid of their artifacts without profiting off of them, and that the ecologists need a source of said artifacts to learn more about the Zone. These two factions share one of a few mutually beneficial relationships in the Zone. Duty was originally created by T.A.L.K.E.R, an army captain. He was one of the first members of the Ukrainian military sent in to destroy the Zone. At first, the newly arrived soldiers were nearly wiped out by an emission. He then decided to intentionally cause a breakdown in communications to allow them to desert and become stalkers. Amongst the confusion of these events, T.A.L.K.E.R unified some of his fellow deserters and became the first leader of Duty. Amongst him were Krylov and Voronin. Now all of this occurs way before Clear Sky. The only time that you come across T.A.L.K.E.R is in Call of Pripyat. He and a squad had become trapped in a spatial anomaly and had all died. You can retrieve his PDA to learn that the foundation of Duty is in fact based on T.A.L.K.E.R.'s fraudulent actions. This is obviously an important piece of information for both Duty and Freedom. Duty can hide the evidence and maintain the cover-up of their origins and leaders' disappearance, while Freedom can use it to expose Duty and lower their credibility. Now, despite Duty having less than legitimate origins, I still think their cause is admirable, as exemplified through their other leaders. Clear Sky sees General Krylov leading Duty based in the Agroprom. Given Duty's recent defection from the army, Krylov generally prefers to stay away from them. It's likely though that he wasn't fully aware of T.A.L.K.E.R.'s actions. It's likely they're located at the Agroprom in hope of finding out information from the Research Institute to aid them in combating the Zone. Shadow of Chernobyl sees Duty stationed in Rostock now, led by General Voronin, as Krylov is assumed to have died during the faction wars. I see Voronin as a much more political leader in comparison to Krylov. He's the one that signed the ceasefire of Lukash, as it's evident Duty wouldn't be able to maintain both their territories and the barrier. He also offers Marked I a large variety of missions to undertake, killing mutants, bandits and mercenaries, which is the standard role of Duty, yet he can assign missions to kill Freedomers and even loners. The mission to kill the Freedom members is understandable. The Bloodsucker village is a bit too close to Rostock, so wants their presence removed, but sending Duty soldiers would obviously disrupt the ceasefire. The mission to kill the loners in Agroprom is a bit more interesting though. Voronin says that their presence isn't advantageous to Duty's allies. Which allies may those be though? The only allies Duty really have are the ecologists, and the only factions in Agroprom are loners, bandits and the military. This comes off as likely evidence that not only do Duty leaders have connection to the military, but favours are being exchanged. Ronan obviously can't send his men to attack the loners, so once again he uses a middleman for the underhanded deeds. The mission could be on behalf of the ecologists or some other faction, but I feel the military is a more likely answer. Now in Call of Pripyat, the Yanov Judaias are led by Lieutenant Colonel Shulga. He's not a general, as Ronan is still alive in Rostock, and the men in Yanov are simply a detachment sent to venture further into the zone. Like most other Judaias, Shulga was also a member of the Ukrainian military sent into the zone, although he isn't a founding member. On a mission, he was gravely injured and was rescued by Judy. With nothing left and a vendetta against the zone, he joined Judy as he now had a score to settle. He and his men share Yanov with Loki and his Freedomers. It's said that Shulga and his men are about to be killed by an emission, and Loki decides to let them in to prevent them from dying such a tragic death. As I said in the Judy lore video, the ending of Call of Pripyat sees the loners either aiding Freedom or Judy in removing the other and killing their leader. Or the ending which I prefer, where the majority of both sides disband and become loners, effectively removing both Freedom and Judy's presence from Yanov and nearby Zaton. Now, I was going to talk about what I think Judy would be like in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, but in the last video, I received a comment letting me know what actually happens to Freedom and partially Judy from a video on leaked S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 documents by Stalker Zone. It has been translated on the r/Stalker subreddit as well. So what I'm probably going to do is a single video about what we know about the story of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 from leaked documents, rather than just me making assumptions or talking about individual factions. So that's it for Judy lore, and actually the lore for all factions except for Renegades, but if I were to do a video on them, it would probably be a joke one. So while I'll probably do some more S.T.A.L.K.E.R lore videos, on maybe the group and mutants for example, I'll probably start working on some other stuff as well. I keep bringing up that I'm wanting to try a different game series or do some analysis or critiques, but now's the time that I'm actually going to start wrapping up S.T.A.L.K.E.R lore and moving on to other things as I finish what I consider to be the most important topic, the factions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to know when other videos are out. Be sure to let me know what you thought down below and to leave a like. You can also keep in touch with me over Twitter and Discord, links are in the description. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.